looky what we got here. A Jenny Penguin is back again.
No, Mr. Madison, they're not...
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Tint. Tint stands for There Is No Template. It is going to be the name of our podcast as well as an umbrella project that we're going to be doing. There's going to be several shows that we do under the Tint label. One of the shows we do is going to be this podcast, which we're going to put out every week. Another show that we're going to be doing is one that deals with politics, science, basically things that I'm interested in. It's also going to be, hopefully, a comedic podcast. That's probably going to go out monthly. I know my friend Doug, my name is Mark, is also going to be doing a show.
Yep, that's right.
Why don't you tell them about yours?
Since he's going to be doing the politics and science for his own show, my show is going to be talking about conspiracies and weird stuff. Weird, outside-the-box free thinking. So if you're into that kind of thing, come check my show out. I also want to make it comedic as much as I can. And, you know, enjoy it. If you're not into that, though, you won't like it. So stick to this main Tint podcast and even watch my buddy's show. And on top of that, we want to do a fourth project, which is going to be original sketch comedy, where mostly revolving around two identical twin brothers played by us, and they want to be the greatest rock band in the world. So you're going to have original sketch comedy, original music, and sometimes we're just going to do sketches that we want to do because it's like fun and we want to do that shit. So, but again, we work full-time jobs, and that's a lot that we're trying to do. So please be patient with our side projects.
Mm-hmm.
But weekly, we want to do this Tint
Yes.
comedic podcast. And
We're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to do this every week. We're going to come out with new topics, basically dealing with entertainment, stuff in the news, stuff that isn't too political, right?
yeah, we're not trying to push politics. We're not trying to push religion or lack thereof. We're not trying to push any agenda at all whatsoever. And we just want to make fun of stuff equally.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. We're gonna make jokes about everybody and everything. There's nothing
deserves to be made fun of. That's what we're gonna.
Well, I don't know what deserves to be made fun of.
A lot of stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's why we're doing that.
Touche. All right, yeah.
So come along for the ride and let's have a laugh. And you know what? There's going to be disagreements. We're not always going to see eye to eye. Me and him are definitely going to disagree.
Yeah,
And there's going to be shouting.
There's going to be yelling and shouting and
get
fist
physical.
fights and
get physical
and stabbings and.
But you know what? Well, unless you stab me, as long as you don't stab me,
yeah, what's going to happen?
We're still going to be friends. And so.
And even if I stab him, maybe we'll still be friends.
I mean,
who knows? Who knows?
If you get me a nice gift. Then maybe I'll be cool with it.
I'll get you one of those fruit bouquets. What are those called?
No, I don't want that shit. Give me something I like.
Those are delicious.
Buy me some like G.I. Joes or something. That'll be cool.
I already got them. I already got them ready.
So you're planning on stabbing me?
I'm planning on stabbing you.
All right. Well, come along for the ride and let's have a laugh. And here we go. Let's start the first episode ever.
First episode ever.
But before we start,
yeah,
you want to talk about what's her name?
Well, I mean, in a way, let's sort of begin / not begin / begin.
This is not our first topic.
Why is it so hot in here? How come it is? It's October and it's insanely hot. Am I
no
off here?
It's hot.
It's Chicago. It's October. It's about 99.99 degrees outside.
It shouldn't be this hot.
It should not be this hot.
But again, it's Chicago, so.
I think it has to do with Amber Geiger and what she did.
She made a whoopsie doopsie.
She made a whoopsie doopsie. What she did was she was a cop who walked into her neighbor's house.
In Dallas, Texas.
Shot him dead and then was like, wait a second. She was like, wait a second.
This isn't my apartment.
This isn't my apartment. And then she's on the phone and she's like, guys, I think I made a whoopsie doopsie. I murdered a human being. I thought I was in my place, but I guess I wasn't. And so, you know.
It was the old wrong apartment.
Wrong apartment bit.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't really go for it. They really didn't, yeah.
Oh, no, she's on trial for murder.
No, she's not just on trial for murder. She was found guilty.
Oh, they found her guilty.
They found her guilty.
So we're waiting on the sentencing?
No, I think she's, well, maybe. I think they're waiting on the sentence, but yeah, she's been found guilty.
You're going to find that we do zero research.
We do no research at all. We hope we're going to get it right, and if we don't get it right, then God bless you.
I'll say that we'll be close. We'll be close a lot of the times. So.
Many times we might be, you know.
We'll be in the ballpark.
Yeah. We're not going to be accurate, but we're not going to be wrong either.
Yeah. We're more right than we'll be wrong.
So, yeah, she walked into an apartment, shot a man down, right?
The crazy part
died.
is... Yeah, go ahead.
No, he died, and then she was like, whoa! Except she lived there for how many years?
4 years.
4 years, I think, yeah. And then she...
Long enough to know where to go if you want to go home.
Yeah.
No?
You know, I don't know about you, but, you know, usually I remember where I want, you know.
I lived in a place for like 1 year.
No.
And I knew where to go
You knew where to go.
after the first day.
After the first day, yeah. And then at the same time you walked in and you were like, instead of saying like, hey neighbor, no, you shot this person down, right? You shot him down to the ground. What's that song? Anyways, she murdered that individual. He was, I was going to say man, but he's like 26 years old. He's barely a man. He's like, you know, this is probably like his first apartment. He's got this crazy cop lady next door who freaking is insane and can't find her own apartment, and she's getting ready to gun you down. Probably living on pins and needles. You know what I mean? He's living scared day to day.
I didn't know that until it happened.
I don't know.
Do you think he saw the writing on the wall?
I think he saw the writing on the wall and he was just hoping that it wouldn't happen. Because obviously, she is freaking nuts. I was going to say fucking nuts.
But we don't
curse on this show. So...
I mean, what do we do? Drugs? Is she on drugs?
I wish, but that's probably not the case. She is just a...
there's
she is just a C word. She's a C word. She's a C word. She's a C word.
Listen, I'm the conspiracy guy. I'm telling you, there's something more to it.
Yeah. Well,
we're not gonna know. Maybe she was.
I'm not the conspiracy guy.
I'm telling you. Maybe
that's probably what it was.
He knew something about her or something like that, and she went into the wrong apartment.
Yeah.
And followed her police training.
That was her best excuse. You know, when the cop showed up, it's like, okay, what happened here? What happened? She's like, I must have walked into the, wrong apartment.
She's like, first of all, I made a whoopsie doopsie.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, so you killed a guy.
So you murdered a human being.
And you killed a guy. She's like, yeah.
And then they're like, how could this have happened? And she's like, our apartments are really close together. There's my door's here, and his door's like right there. So I must have.
She zigged when she should have
zagged. Yeah. How did her key open that door?
That's the fucking crazy part to me.
There's a little bit to be blamed on the landlord. That he didn't make different keys for different doors, apparently.
I'm telling you, man, something's not adding up.
I think like a lot isn't adding up.
That her key opened a different apartment door. I'm pretty sure that's landlord 101.
Yeah. And
have different keys.
And then instead of being like, hey, wait, what are you doing? She just shot him dead. So...
Can you imagine that, dude?
I can't imagine.
Somebody walks into your place and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
And you're like, what are you doing in my place? And then bang, bang, bang. It's like, I'm in my... Because you're dead already. Mm-hmm. You can't even answer.
No, it's over.
Am I wrong here? Isn't that...
That when you get shot and killed that you're dead? No, you're right.
No, I'm right. Whew.
You were right about that.
It's not funny, and yet it's funny at the same time.
It's not
How
funny
do you
because a man got all lost his life.
a man lost his
But
life. Who's probably
shit.
I don't know. I don't know if he was a
Crazy.
decent man. Maybe he's a horrible man, but he didn't deserve to die.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know anything.
Okay, so
we don't know anything.
so we know
just
he
go by
deserved
the
to die.
story. I said we don't know.
All we know now is he deserved to die, and this woman is clearly innocent.
There's a lot going on. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's the
Well, she was
movie.
found. She
That's
was
the-
found guilty, and that's all I need to
Yeah, we'll see. We'll update you.
know. We will?
Yeah.
No,
Like the
we're
news.
never going to talk about this again.
No, we'll never.
But God bless.
I already forgot.
God
what
bless.
we're talking about. So let's
you know.
start the show.
I
Let's
thought
start
we
the
did. I
show.
thought that was the start.
Nah, that was just a little. What do they call it?
So is she guilty or is she innocent?
She's guilty.
She's guiltissent
Mm.
until proven
Guilty.
guilty.
All right,
That's how it works.
That didn't land. Topic number one.
I'm glad you went along with it, though.
Yeah, I always go along with it, but in the end, I'll tell you, it didn't work.
Yeah, you're at the end. You're like, please
I'll always go along with it. But,
leave.
so topic number one. Topic number one.
Yeah, what's topic number one?
I've already established that
Yeah,
I'm
her innocence.
conspiracy minded, and you are not, right? But this has nothing to do with that. This is common sense. It's called the robot apocalypse. It's fucking coming, and it's going to be
Why?
due
Why
to
do you?
Boston Dynamics.
Why do you have to do this all the time? Why do you have to constantly bring up the robot apocalypse? That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's like, I don't know what it's like. It's like global warming. It's not real. You know what I mean?
Save all that shit for your
It's
show.
all climate change.
Just ask Greta. Greta will tell you all about it.
Greta Thunberg. Oh yeah, sweetie free. I think we
So Boston Dynamics has these fucking dog,
You just.
these dog robots.
I was trying to speak Swedish. I was trying to
Wasn't going.
give a heads
well.
up to my Swedish
It
audience.
wasn't going well. Greta. Now you got me talking about fucking Greta. Boston Dynamics is coming out now. These dogs, these robot dogs, are
Why are you
available
calling him a dog?
for purchase.
Why are you calling him a dog? It's just a robot on 4 legs. It's not a dog. A dog is a dog. Why isn't it a deer?
So it doesn't identify as a dog. Is that what you're telling me?
It doesn't identify as dog. When
This
it
robot quadruped.
listen, it chooses a neutral bathroom.
Identity.
No, a bathroom. When it has to go to the bathroom, it doesn't go to the male, doesn't go to the female, doesn't go to the dog. It chooses a neutral bathroom.
They gotta make
And
a new
clearly,
bathroom for the robot.
New bathroom for those
Robot
dogs.
quadrupeds.
Oh, I mean quadrupeds.
See, already you're in trouble.
I blew
If
it.
this was Canada, I would play that you'd be
If
arrested.
this was Canada, I'd be in blackface right now.
Justin Trudeau, you're a good
You
man.
blew it!
You blew it, dude. Hey, Justin Trudeau, stop wearing blackface.
How about, here's the thing. I've been in a lot of parties, I've never been in blackface, I've never seen blackface, I've
No.
never heard of people like, well, I was going to do
Don't
blackface,
you
but
hear
I
Bill?
decided not to.
Bill last year was in blackface.
Yeah, it was in blackface.
We've been to the same parties, we've been to different parties, and
Yeah.
I too
Never.
seen or heard of anybody wearing blackface.
It was like, it's apparently to these politicians, it's like, I'm going to do blackface.
But the amount of dedication he did black body.
He
'cause
did
it's
black
full
body. He did
shit.
full
It
black
was
body.
covered in fucking shoe polish or
Mhm.
whatever he used, and he thought that was cool. He didn't know that was could be interpreted as offensive.
And then he had sex with a white woman, and she was like, ooh, this is nasty.
And then she was covered in fucking shoe polish. The crazy part too is he
What?
goes on. He has a press conference because it was like this incident, and then this one,
Yeah.
then this one. And he's like, you know what, guys? Fuck it. I don't know how many times.
Yeah, I
did
don't
shit.
know how many
Yeah.
times I've colored myself a different race
I can't recall
and
how many
thought
times
it was
I've done.
hilarious.
I've done this so much that I don't even know how many. There's gonna be a lot more shit probably. So good job to Justin in his. He's a partier, man. He parties hard.
I will give him a slight pass in that, you know, he was in Canada and it wasn't like, you know, blackface in the U.S. is a no-go.
So
Is
there's
a
not
no-go.
black people in Canada?
No, it's not that there's not black people in Canada.
They're just cool with it?
It's no, that there wasn't this history of, you know, making fun of black people with blackface in Canada. Although, you know, we live in a society now where, you know, you should realize that there are other people in other places who were offended by
I think
this.
we've reached that level. Where everyone.
But it's a horrible thing for him to, you know, to just be like, well, you know, I don't know how many times. I've done it once, I've done it twice, 3 times. You might find picture number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
6 to
9.
1, half a dozen
But,
to the
you
other.
know,
I don't
come
know.
on. I did it every Halloween.
I'm trying to say, I did it every Halloween, I did it every school dance, and I did it every time.
every Christmas.
Every time I showed up for work at the fucking river guide place, whatever the fuck you want to call
What
that.
was it?
It was like a river guide, and he showed up in blackface. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to me. And then, long story short, the robots are going to kill us all because. Have you seen that Black
Can I ask
Mirror?
you one question before you go on?
Mm-hmm.
If you walk out of a mine
Yeah.
and you've been, you know, mining coal all day, are you a racist?
We don't know. It depends on what you're thinking inside.
That's it. That was the right answer. That's
Maybe.
social justice just came true.
Mm-hmm. It just
We just won
came
around with the devil.
We'll take the W on that.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I think we're trying to talk about robots taking over.
Oh yeah, the
world.
robot apocalypse.
I mean, you showed me that video of the fucking
Yeah.
What's that thing called? The Atlas.
Atlas Shrugged is what it's called.
Mm.
Ayn Rand built that robot with her own 2 hands
Mm-hmm.
and her teeth.
Mm.
She was gnawing on that. Sorry.
Didn't
But
land again.
I didn't land again, but, but I was invested.
That's what we do. We learn. We learn as we go. We work through it.
Yeah. So Atlas is a robot that they've been working on, and the need for these type of robots has been amplified since the Fukushima disaster. Back in the day when Chernobyl happened, they were nowhere near having these kind of robots that could withstand, first, the radiation that wouldn't destroy their circuits, and secondly, to have robots that could go into places where human beings were able to go to, where they could step over obstacles, where they could be knocked down, still get up. Nowadays, we have these robots. I don't know what their shielding is, especially, you know, I don't know in Chernobyl that any robot would survive with that type of radiation. You know, their circuits would get scrambled very, very quickly. But they're still building these things to be search and rescue thing. You know,
But they're making
They
them
can send-
ultra durable
they're making them ultra
to
durable
withstand
with-
and
with-
survive all this shit.
all this stuff.
It's not good for us.
No.
Okay?
Definitely not. What you don't want to do with one of those things is
give it
mount
guns.
some guns to it and then tell it to just
Don't kill us.
don't kill people, please. It's just like, hey, we're going to give you these guns. We're going to give you this
We're going to trust you.
immense, athletic prowess, but we're going to ask you, and this is a pretty place. Don't kill us, yo. You know, when we send you out into the most dangerous areas that your circuits are going to get scrambled and you're most likely going to fall apart.
Yeah.
You know,
we just
do that.
Throw you in the trash.
Do that for us. Do that for us. You know what I mean? You're probably going to be worthless and we're going to recycle you into metal again. But just do that stuff for us because, come on, you know, we created you. We are your gods in a way. You know what I mean?
So work for us and never achieve, sentience.
You don't want them to get sentience.
And
That's-
everything's
whew.
going to be all good.
Yeah.
Did you see you remember the Black Mirror with the freaking dog robot That's
The
right.
robot dogs?
Yeah. Isn't that the one that's in black and white or something?
Yeah, that's the one in black and white. And that's
Chasing
also the
them.
one that was inspired by Boston Dynamics quadruped robot.
Yeah. Quadruped, sorry. Yeah, that's basically our future. So
It will.
it's called common sense, man. You never seen a Terminator movie? You never seen The Matrix? The shit's coming. They're making another shitty Terminator just to try and warn us.
One last time.
Right.
One
They
last
fucking
warning.
Kicked Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get your ass up. We got to do one more warning.
Yeah,
They
'cause
pulled Linda
apparently-
Hamilton out of a dumpster
Yeah.
and brushed her off and said, "We got to warn these." Was that too harsh?
Yeah. No, but they're like, apparently they're like, we gave you 3 warnings, 3 movies where we tried to warn you, and then we gave you Christian Bale. And you didn't listen to Christian. So clearly, we're going to have to do one more movie
Well, they did the other one
with,
with,
well, that's what I was about to say. So clearly going to have to do a movie with the Mother of Dragons.
And they still won't listen.
Yeah. And, well, they were like, this has got it, you know.
At that point,
Yeah.
it was like, stop making movies. 'cause
Stop
they're-
making, and then they're like, oh, well, let's give it one more shot.
Let's just shit out one more.
Oh
Call
my
it a
God!
day.
Because you know what happened? David Cameron got a call from
David Cameron? Is that James Cameron's
James
brother?
Cameron's brother. I don't know why I thought his name was David.
You got a
Cameron.
call from who? David got a call from who?
No, David,
James?
isn't David Cameron wasn't he the Prime Minister of Britain at one point?
Sure. Yeah.
See, I was trying to bring it back to the whole,
Yeah,
Prime
yeah,
Minister
yeah.
Justin Thoreau. Anyways,
Full circle.
full circle. So, James is like, just chilling at his house, counting his Avatar money, and Linda's like, I'm in a dumpster right now. I'm sleeping here,
You gotta
and I'm
help
living
out.
here. And he's like, well, you were my wife at one point.
And I'm sure
And he
did.
says that to her on the phone. You were my wife at one point. And she's like, yeah. Is that worth anything to you? And he says, he's about to say no. But she's like, Terminator. He's like, what? One more movie?
More money?
More money? Yeah.
Alright, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that thing. And I'm so glad they're coming out with more avatars. Because, I love when they, really get an idea that worked once and then they just...
Driving into the fucking...
Oh my God, that turns
Can I
me
say
on.
that the first Avatar is overrated?
It's okay of a movie.
It's Dances with Wolves, no?
It's Dances with Wolves, except it's Dances
it's
with
in cartoon.
aliens.
With cartoon graphics.
With cartoon graphics that are
Yeah.
very, 100 years from now, people are like, what the fuck is this cartoon? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, conclusion, robots are going to kill us all unless you stop this shit, which they're not going to stop it.
Did you see Parkour Atlas and the kind of things he did? He rolled over, he jumped, he
Are you
span
asking
around.
me or them?
Anybody. This is
saw
up. If you guys want to answer, if he wants to answer, I'm whoever wants to do it.
I saw it, but you guys should watch it if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it. It'll scare the shit out of you.
It should scare the fucking living bejesus out of you because this thing is coming.
Yeah.
It's gonna come to your house. It's gonna
Yeah.
knock on your door, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa, it's probably just Jehovah's Witnesses." But no,
No.
it's
We're gonna
gonna be
be
there.
fighting these
and it's gonna be
things.
gunning you down, and
We're
those
gonna
things
lose.
don't miss. See, that's the thing.
It's a robot.
Human being misses. Whoa, I'm
They
scared.
get scared and shit,
I probably shouldn't kill human.
Unless you're
other
Lee Harvey
humans.
Oswald, then you're a crack shot. Sorry.
If
I
you're
just said
who?
it. Lee Harvey Oswald. I just throw one in there. Go ahead. He was a crack shot. That's all I'm saying. That's one conspiracy that I think I don't believe in at all.
We're gonna stay really quiet.
He definitely.
We're gonna stay really quiet for a long time.
You gotta stay quiet and still.
No, but hey, seriously. Here's the thing. Human beings are like, oh, that's another human. I probably shouldn't kill him. Oh, I missed. A lot of times, that's what happens in war, and what people don't realize. A lot of regular
It's
people
chaos.
have never been in war.
It's fucking chaos, and you're just
and,
shooting. You don't
and a lot
fucking-
of times, you're actually trying to miss because you don't want to murder other humans who have done nothing wrong to you.
that you don't even know.
Yeah.
It's fucked
So
up.
you're missing on purpose sometimes.
But you know who's not gonna do that?
No.
Robots.
Not going to do that at all.
Kill shot every
They're
time.
going to be a head kill shot
Yeah.
every time,
Yeah.
and then you're going to be like, wait a second, these are some pretty bad dudes.
And they don't have to sleep.
They don't sleep. No,
Maybe they recharge.
they got to recharge for like, it depends on how
But they're
efficient
gonna
the
have
battery
some
is.
recharging while the other ones are fucking out. So it's gonna be 24,
Yeah,
hours.
they're going to be murdering us 24/7,
Yeah.
365
On the reg.
on the reg. And we're going to probably die.
Yeah. So don't let them take your guns because
Yeah, because
even the slightest
Jesus knows
is worse is better than no resistance. Right?
well, I guess in a way, if
Right.
there's one thing that I know, it's that Jesus was pro-gun.
He was, dude.
He was pro-gun.
Remember he whooped everybody's ass in that
Yeah.
market?
He whooped everybody's ass in that market, and then he took out his 44, and he's like, "You feeling lucky? You feeling lucky, punk?" I don't know if that was. It might have been Clint Eastwood, but it was basically
I think
the
that
same.
was in the Bible.
That was in the Bible
That
for
was in
sure.
the Bible for sure. All right, so
They took that moment from the Bible and gave it to Clinton.
yeah, which is
Wow.
he deserved it, I think.
Yeah, I think Clint, Jesus, and who else? Gandhi.
He
Top
said,
3 humans.
He said that?
Top
You
3.
know,
No.
lucky
What I'm saying is like, if you were to go top 3 humans
in all of history.
in all of history,
Yeah.
Jesus, Clint Eastwood, Gandhi.
Hmm.
Am I wrong?
That's pretty good.
I think I'm pretty right.
Pope John Paul was a good guy.
Not really, except for
Pope John Paul
except for all the pedophiles that he hid. Except for all the pedophiles he hid.
Uh-oh.
Except for that, he was a good guy.
He was a good guy.
I'm
and
Paul-
except for selling the chemicals that kill the Jews to the Nazis.
He actually didn't sell that. That was way before him. That was way before him.
Look
but-
into it, bro.
No, it wasn't him because it was way before him.
No. You gotta look into that one.
I will look into that one.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, you're
His
talking
name was
about a
Carol.
pope who became pope in 1970. I'm Polish, so I should know fucking all about Pope John
He
Paul.
became Pope in 1978.
Yeah.
Pope John Paul II. His name was Carol.
Yeah. So how did he sell chemicals?
He was in the fucking, in the 40s when the shit was going down.
Uh-huh.
He had a work visa pass, so he didn't get, taken away. And he was out there working for this chemical company. And you look up that chemical company, and they're like, oh, they weren't selling shit to anybody. But then you work out.
I think you just did a conspiracy under my ass.
IB Farben was the company that was selling
Yeah.
the Cyclone B and all that shit to the Nazis. But then you find out that the chemical company he worked for and that company were working together in World War II.
Do you know where Cyclone B came from?
Mm-mm.
So, when the United States began letting Mexican migrants into the U.S., what they would do
What year?
in the 20s and 30s, in
Mhm.
the 20s, I think. So what they would do is they would take these Mexican migrants and they would wash them with gasoline, and then they would take their clothing, which were infested with lice and fleas, and they would put them in a chamber, a large chamber, where they would infuse it with Zyklon B, and they would kill all the pests. And then after being washed with gasoline, they would walk out, they would pick up their clothing, and they would put it back on, and then they were clean enough to be in America. And then they would pick our fruit, and we would eat that fruit, and then they'd have to go back to Mexico with their $2 and be like, America, you are the best. And yeah, they did that for years and years. And then
Good story.
And then, no, it's not a story. It's a fact.
Oh no, I'm not denying it at all.
And then what happened were the Germans came here one year, and they took pictures of large rooms where they would put clothing and treat it with Zyklon B.
Mm.
And there are pictures inside
where
the
this is
Nazi
going.
files of chambers where they would basically exterminate pests inside of the clothing. And they were like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. We can kill a lot of pests if we put it into a big old room with some Zyklon B. And there are actual pictures of these facilities from the United States on the border inside of Nazi,
Bunkers.
no, inside of Nazi,
Houses. Bases.
no, inside of Nazi paperwork where they were talking about the final
it's in
solution.
the paperwork,
I
yeah.
don't know, houses, bunkers, I
The
don't know.
paperwork was in all those places.
And they found all this, and they found pictures from the fucking United States where they were doing this to Mexican immigrants, because at that point it was, that they would bring in typhoid, cholera, and all these things, so we needed to clean these people with gasoline, and we needed to spray their clothing with this poison, this Zyklon B. And then Hitler heard about it, and he's like, you know what?
He loved it.
Guess what? You know what? You know what we could do with that Zyklon B? And I was like, what? And it's like, guess what? And he's like, what could you do? And it's like, you know what we could do?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
And that's our the more you know moment.
Dun, dun, dun.
Boom. So,
All true,
Yeah.
and all provable, and I will walk you through every one of those.
I don't fucking who you talking to, man.
Alright, thank you.
I just encourage anybody out there listening who's like, what? That sounds crazy.
That's
Look
never
that shit up.
possible. It's never possible. It's never
Look it up.
possible that they have pictures from the United States where they were killing,
All right,
quote
you said
unquote,
that
killing lice and fleas.
A lot of times. You said that a lot of times.
No, but that's what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's the proof. If you can't find that proof, then maybe I'm lying.
I don't think you're lying at all. So, long story short, robots and Nazis are bad.
Robots are bad. Nazis are worse. Robot Nazis, the worst.
Can you imagine that? Jesus Christ, robot Nazis. That's a movie right there. Boy.
Robot Nazis, they come into your house. It's like, what are you doing?
Robot Nazi
Ooh.
bikini party.
Oh my God.
That's a movie.
That is Robot Nazi Bikini Party?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that isn't a movie right now.
It
because
will
that
be.
should be.
It will be
That
now.
should be a movie.
Somebody's gonna fucking bite this and it's gonna make it a movie. So before you go on,
We're gonna go nowhere.
No,
That guy who
no, no.
made that movie,
Yeah,
he's
dude.
gonna be the fucking head of MGM in about 2 months.
everything we say, people are just gonna steal our shit and we're just gonna be sitting on this fucking couch.
Hey, before we go on, I know
I
this
got
wasn't-
another before we
wait,
go on.
But before we go on, this is something I didn't plan on us talking about, but how many times have we said shit or had ideas and then we were watching the TV and they come up with whoa, that
A lot
was
of
bad.
times.
Because here's the thing, cutting the head off and fucking the neck stump.
That was us.
That was us. When I talked about the fact that I saw on Oprah that men's greatest fear is being laughed at and humiliated by women. Women's greatest fear is being murdered by men. And then I saw that female comic just like.
That was
I
you.
came up with it.
You came
It was
up with
mine.
You know the other
Well, it was
one
Oprah.
too?
Wait. It was Oprah's originally, but Oprah wasn't making a joke out of it.
You took it to that next
Yeah,
level,
I
and
took
then
it to that
someone
level where
stole it
that's-
from you.
That's stupid.
You know, the other one, we also have an idea for a show, and then where the characters in the show sit down and watch TV, and then we could come up with all different sketches and shit.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty. Fucking intergalactic TV where they sit down and they're watching all this crazy
yes,
shit.
of course.
That was ours.
Now,
God
how
damn
can
it.
we prove it's ours? We can't. We can't.
We can't.
We lose that round.
The more people watch this, the more they're going to know that we're trustworthy
There
guys.
were, yeah.
And we're telling
We
fucking
never
truth.
lie. We never lie.
Never. Alright, so now here's my little thing before we go on.
Besides that, we're
So-
American heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I watch a lot of cooking shows. Some
Yeah.
cooking shows that
What?
I like.
You watch cooking
And,
shows?
Yeah,
What are you,
cooking
What are you,
shows.
gay?
What does that mean? Wow,
Sorry.
that was rough. So I watch cooking shows. I used to never care about that, and then me and my wife have been together for a while, and then she kind of got me into cooking, and now I like the fucking shows because now I can see what they're doing.
Yeah, except you don't
And-
cook. I'm an actual cook.
I do cook,
I
motherfucker.
actually- yeah,
I'm
no, but
learning.
I cook for a profession. What you cook once in a
Cook on the
while?
side, asshole. That's not my job. I'm looking. I'm learning as I fucking go. I know how to cook.
And you
some
make
shit
really
now, by the
shitty
way.
food is what you make.
Say that again.
I'm not gonna because I'm scared of you.
Asshole.
Goddamn.
Anyways, so we're watching the fucking this cooking show. It's called Final Table or something on Netflix, And basically what it is they got chefs from all over the world, and these are like badass chefs, right? But they're in the competition, and they're all competing, and they go to different parts of the. Well, they don't go, but they bring up a different country, and then they got to cook that shit, right? So
that's a huge difference. They go into the country and they learn from the people, as opposed to like, oh, they get told to cook from that country. Yeah, that's a huge difference. You blew it.
That's why I corrected
You blew the whole thing. You
You're
blew the whole
harping
thing
on something that didn't need to be harped on.
Sorry.
So they give them different countries and they cook that fucking thing, right? And then the bottom three, right? So then they got to cook more, so that they got to figure out who's going to get eliminated, right? So then they bring in this badass chef who's from that region.
Really?
Yeah, who judges them, and they got to cook.
I didn't hear about this. That actually sounds
cool. Final table, it's a good show. And so then the chef picks an ingredient, one ingredient, and they got to make that the star of the dish, right?
Sure, whatever.
So then they do their thing, and this is like I would love this so much. So the chef has the 3 dishes, right? And it's teams of 2, by the way, which is also cool because they like work with each other and all that. So he got the 3 dishes, and it's teams of 2, and then he always tries all 3, says what he likes or whatever, and he's very vague, he or she, and then he picks the one that he likes, and so it's left to the other 2 teams that are left, and then the host is like, all right, who has cooked for the final time, who's gonna go home? And in my head, I usually don't get like crass or gross like this, but I would just have this idea, this would be fucking amazing. If the 2 teams, there's 4 chefs just standing there waiting, and he's like, which team has cooked for the final time? Which team's going home? And then the chef just stands up, because there's like a long white table, and then he takes his pants down, and he shits right on the table, puts his pants on, doesn't wipe, and then just leaves. You don't think that's funny? Dude, that would be, if that happened, I could die like that after that show. After that episode, I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. Everything happened that I needed to happen. If he just shit on the table and left, and then everybody's like, what the and then he didn't pick who went home? No, that's not good for you? Dude, I was laughing for like an hour upstairs before I came down here. Alright.
Well, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. So he defecates onto a table. Remember
all that's happening,
see,
they don't know what's happening.
Yeah, but we were talking about this before. Like, we had a whole conversation about this. Like, let's say there's a girl you really like. You're really into her. She's smart. She's funny. She has those little moments where you're like,
I'm sorry I brought this up because it's going to get gross.
She's kind of cute at that, like, one moment where she's like, oh, she does something, and you're like, oh, damn, you're kind of cute at that one moment when you do that kind of thing. And then, she's like behind you with whatever you want to do, she wants to do. And then one day you're holding hands and, she's like, you know what? It'd be really awesome. And you're like, what? Having kids, getting married? She's like, if I could shit on your chest.
That's gross.
And you like pause for a second. And here's the real question. It's not like whether you're going to let her shit on your chest, because you're going to let her shit on your chest.
You're going to.
I'm going to, because I love her. The question is, what has she eaten? How much of it? And how loose is that stool? Because what you don't want to do at that moment, if like things were to go wrong, and then she globs, you're lying there.
Diarrhea. You don't want diarrhea.
And she drops it on, and you know what I mean? It's almost worse if it's like too chunky, and then you're like, wait a second, and then it just like slides down. You know what I mean? And then falls off.
That's disgusting.
It's both disgusting, and it's a deal breaker in a really close bonded relationship. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're like, wait, hey, and then it's just like sliding down off of you. It's like your heart's breaking and then falling away. In a way. In a way.
It's
not exactly. It's like symbolic of it.
Yeah,
it's like my heart's just broken, and then it just... Plump.
But if it's a solid one, then you're...
Yeah, if it's like really solid, you can like hold it there and be like, you're my heart.
I should have never brought this up, but I couldn't help
No, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, because, here's, there a lot of people talk, oh, shit, yeah, no, it's all about what you eat, how much you eat, how loose is the stool, how bad does it smell? Oh, is she gonna shit on a glass table above your face? And then you're gonna be like, whoa, and you're gonna, you can't do that. That's not really fucking, you have to get it onto you. You have to get it on.
It's not true love.
It's not true love. It's a fake love, and he's faking it. I'll be in there, and I'll be real for you, Melissa.
Moving on. The thing about Tony Danza.
Yeah, Tony Danza. He never shit on anybody's chest.
No, he never. You know who's the boss? Fucking Tony
Danza. That's who.
That show should have never been a question. Goddammit.
It should not.
No. But the funny part about Tony Danza is.
Remember how Mona tried to get up on him, except that he kind of wanted the daughter. Except the daughter looked older than Mona in the show. Except now the daughter looks younger than Mona, and then Mona is dead. Tell me that's not a conspiracy.
You give people like me a bad name.
I get it though.
In any event,
you gotta. If the Rays aren't coming in, then none of us are.
Don't worry. Watch my show. You'll see what a buffoon he's being right now. In any event, the crazy part to me is that Tony Danza has been in more than one role where the character was named Tony. And
because
we were joking around about that.
We know why.
Well, why? Why?
We know why.
Why?
Tony Danza is an actor, but Tony Danza was also a boxer. Tony Danza took a lot of punches.
You got whacked in the head
to the face, times, right? Yeah. If you're in a show and they're like, "Hey, Tony," he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm Tony," and then I do this line. But if you tell him, "Hey, his name is Jack," and the director's like, "Action!" It's like, "Yo, Jack. Jack. Yo, Jack. Jack. Okay, Tony. Whoa." And, no. You're in this scene, sir. Your name is Jack. Tony Danza. You're an actor, Tony Danza. But in the scene, your name is Jack. Okay. We're gonna
got it. He's like, got it.
Ready? Action. Yo, Jack. Yo, Jack. Yo, Jack. Tony. Yeah. What?
And then the director's like,
no!
We just gotta fucking name him Tony.
We gotta name this guy Tony because he ain't gonna fucking get it.
And he's been in a shitload of shit. But
it's like, yo, Tony, what? Oscar. This guy, Emmy. He fucking did. Oh.
He's played a lot of. Listen, he's been Tony a lot of times, and then really it is just the director just making it easy on himself.
He can't
because he's been other characters.
Yeah.
And they said that those shoots lasted 2 years. Just because daily he forgets that he's named Jack. He'll get it 8 hours later and be like, "Oh, I'm Jack."
Oh, I get it.
And they're like, "Hey, Jack." And he's like, "Yeah." And then he goes, but then the next day, it's gone. It's gone. It's right out the fucking window.
When he's eating dinner with his wife, he's like, "I'm Jack. I get it." He's like, Tony. Jack. Yeah. That's it.
He has to be Jack. And then when he goes to sleep, he fucking forgets
the whole
thing. Happened. I have a fun little Tony Danza story.
Tony Danza, I have to tell you, is one of those just
he's the
prototypical, he was just there at the right places and right time for really shitty shows.
He would never be anything in this day.
No, in this day and age he'd be nothing.
He'd never work in this town.
No.
The way he is, but then
unless because he was a boxer, he might have done some kind of he'd be the next Joe Rogan. No offense, Joe Rogan.
Don't piss off Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, we know you are the king of the internet and podcasts. We're not trying to get you mad.
Any problems, Joe?
But we know.
You're basically Tony Danza.
You're Tony Danza, and that's a fact. That's a fact in nature.
That's good. I like
Sorry.
That. So, one night, this was back in the day, Tony Danza had a talk show, for a brief time, he had a talk show, and you'll never guess what the name of it was. Tony.
You didn't give me a chance to answer, because I thought I
I know. It's a stretch. It's a stretch. So his fucking show.
It was either Anthony or Tony, and I was like, and then but you jumped in too fast.
It's Tony Danza. He had a show called the Tony Danza Show, where his name Tony something. I mean, that was another sitcom. But anyways, he's got this talk show. His name is Tony, and he's doing like, I never watched it because that would make me.
You never watched it? Yeah, right. You never watched it.
That would make me a crazy person if I just needed to watch Tony Danza's talk show, right?
Dude, you didn't just watch the show. You masturbated to it every night. You're like, oh, Tony.
We agreed that there's certain things we're not going to talk about on here. We agreed to that.
You constantly, every night you would say, Tony. Oh, Tony. And then, remember that band that came out? Tony.
Yeah.
Is that a coincidence?
He loved that shit.
Is that a coincidence?
So anyways,
go.
He's on the talk show. I'm up late. I can't fucking sleep. I'm flipping through channels, right? And I catch the show, and I don't know why. This is like fate.
What's
I would
fate?
even leave the show on.
Oh,
right?
fate. It's fate.
Fate.
I thought you said it was fake.
Oh, it was definitely fake, but it was fate that I would watch this, right? So I just happened to leave it. Let me see what the fuck Tony Danza's doing right now, right?
He's up to something.
And he's got a segment where it's this lady, and a nice, seemingly nice lady.
And
she's got like these knickknacks and shit for your house, and they're going and they're looking at all the things, and she's like, oh, you got... So you can put this shit up over your kitchen. So then they get to this one thing, and it's like she takes it, and she like clicks it here and there. She's like, oh, it goes from this, and then you... And now it's this. You put it on your fucking table, right?
Sure.
She's like, go ahead and try it.
Transformer, right?
It's like a decoration transformer, and she's like, go ahead and try it. It's so easy. So then Tony.
Is that what she says then?
Yeah, he grabs the thing, right? And he's like, he's working on it, right? He's working on it,
sure.
and now it's taking a while, right? And now she's like sitting there looking like. And now it's getting awkward. Okay. And she's like, you don't have to finish it. We could just move on, you know?
Yeah.
And instead of being like a human being and being like, saying something.
Whatever, yeah.
Being like, yeah, well, this is tougher than I thought. Or being like, I'm determined to get this. He doesn't say anything.
Uh-oh.
She's like, you don't have to. We could just go on. And he just silently.
Just
working on this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And then he smashes it. And then he like comes to. He's like, oh.
Really?
That happened on the fucking show.
I'm glad he didn't have my Rubik's Cube collection there.
Oh man, that would have stumped him. He wouldn't have left the house for a decade.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even know his name was Tony.
Tony.
By the way, it's hot as fucking here.
It's hot as fuck
Jesus Christ.
And that was my...
I don't know what that was.
That was my interpretation of Tony Danza doing a Rubik's Cube, talking about the band Tony, but using it as an emotional conduit for connecting with an audience.
And motivation.
Yeah. The
That's
only
good
only words on the script were Tony, and we're like, can you make this work? And he's like, Tony. I was like,
at one point,
yes!
he spent a whole year where his only word he could say was Tony.
That's dedication, man. That is dedication to a craft.
Hardcore, dude.
Wow.
Are you hungry? Tony. Holy shit. I don't know if that's yes or no. It was like, that was something, man. He's a good guy.
He is.
We're going to keep you updated on any Tony Danza.
Any Tony Danza information that comes our way, we're going to give it.
You're going to hear it first.
So far we know he's a human man.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
We don't know that for sure, because he could be an alien.
We suspect that he's a human man. But
and if he is...
Loves his name. Very focused on his own name. And don't give him little knickknacks to work on live TV, because he's just going to break it.
And don't talk about Judith Light, because...
Oh, he'll bust your ass.
Yeah. He is like,
Do you think he banged Mona?
I think he banged both of them.
Yeah, he banged both of them for sure, dude.
Including Jonathan.
Jonathan was not of age.
I mean, he didn't.
Maybe when Jonathan was of age.
When he was of age.
Yeah, maybe.
I banged him. Sorry. That's gross. It's also stupid.
It's gross.
It's also stupid.
So stupid. So let's move into the.
What? What are we gonna talk about
Let's
now?
move into the next one, right?
I guess.
I mean, since we're talking about 80s stuff or old time, TV and shit, let me just ask you a question right now.
Go, dude.
On the show,
Please.
Three's Company,
Yeah.
who do you think was the hottest roommate?
I know he wasn't a roommate.
I know every opportunity for you is to make a joke of some sort. But from your heart of hearts, answer the
I was gonna say
question
Larry,
fucking
but
truthfully.
you win.
I know you were
It's
gonna.
Janet. It's Janet. It's Janet. It's Janet in that little A nightgown she had with the little A and the knee-high socks and her short little bobby hair and when she was like, those first 2 years, and it was just like, oh my god, I just want to tear into.
Easy, big fella. So you're.
I mean Janet. I like
So
Janet.
you're saying Janet, huh?
Yeah.
The
Like,
thing
yeah, it's
is,
okay.
your opinion is actually incorrect.
My opinion.
Your opinion is incorrect.
My opinion.
You actually agree with me that Terry, the nurse, is the hottest one, and that's the right answer.
Sorry, that's not the right answer.
Terry was a smoke show, dude.
No, Terry.
Terry in that
is my
nurse's
number 2.
outfit?
Terry's my number 2.
No.
All right.
Incorrect.
She is actually ahead of Chrissy, and she's also ahead of Chrissy for you, which is weird because I know so many.
Chrissy was
who are
garbage,
like, oh, Chrissy, blah, blah, blah.
Chrissy was garbage.
I'd fuck the tall one before Chrissy.
Here's the thing.
What was her name?
Don't be crass like that. It goes Terry. This is the right order.
Yeah.
It goes Terry,
What's the right order?
Cindy. That's the tall
Yeah.
one, country one.
Yeah.
Then I guess Suzanne Summers, Chrissy, right?
And then the last one was
And
Janet?
then
Unbelievable.
Mrs. Roper. And then Furley. And then fucking Janet.
Wow!
Sorry,
Wow.
Joyce DeWitt.
Yeah, sorry, Joyce DeWitt.
Sorry, Joyce DeWitt. That's me.
Except
And
he
that's
just
my-
threw you to the lions, and I'm here talking about you're my number 1. You're my number 1 gal.
What's your order?
All right, my order for let's get real here.
Yeah, get real.
For 1 second.
Be serious.
I can't. Okay, so Joyce DeWitt, it's
Wrong.
Janet,
Yeah. Janet.
it's Terry, Cindy, Chrissy, Mr. Roper, then Mrs. Roper,
Yeah.
Furley,
Yeah.
Larry,
Yeah.
before Jack, which is weird, and then finally that old lady who constantly wanted to fuck Jack.
Lana. Was that her name?
Yeah.
I forgot to throw her.
Let's get
She's
real.
before
Let's
Mrs.
get real.
Roper.
She's before Mrs. Roper.
She's before
Let's-
Chrissy.
Woo! You just
Breakthrough.
what?
Here's the thing: if you're
Wow.
gonna bang Mr. Furley, you gotta go easy because he's got some brittle bones.
What's his name?
And you
Norm?
don't want to end up going to the hospital emergency room because
What's his
he's got
name?
a
Norm
bird body.
something? Oh, I forgot his name. His actual name. Norm.
Mr. Furley's
No, not Mr. Furley. Mr. Roper's.
Mr. Roper. Oh shit.
Oh, he's been in so much shit. He was in fucking. But anyways,
That's dumb.
yeah, and there were a lot of attractive. What about Vicky? He totally left Vicky out.
Was that his wife?
Yeah, eventually that was his wife.
So okay, well I was
That's right.
talking about Three's Company. You're talking about Three's Company 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
if
actually,
you're
I'm
gonna
talking
put-
about Three's a Crowd.
So what the
Sorry.
fuck was Three's Company 2?
That was what Three's a Crowd was called before. It was called Three's a Crowd.
The same show.
This is like.
So Vicky, so
Remember Vicky?
yeah, so then she goes above. She probably fits in right after Lana.
Yeah. I'd say she's right before
Christy.
Lana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Angelino.
Mr. Angelino.
Don't forget him, boy.
Oh, he was.
You know he was
remember
innocent.
Pepe? Remember
yeah,
Pepe?
Yeah, you know he was banging Pepe. You know he was
Pepe.
making Pepe do like shit to
Nasty.
him,
Oh,
like
man.
beating him up. He was
Yeah.
like, "Hit me, Pepe! Hit me!
Like this, sir?
Harder, you fucking
Pepe, you.
Mexican!" I could say that I'm Mexican.
You can't. You win that
I'm a
round.
little bit Mexican.
Okay. But I gotta tell you, my favorite dude was the guy who played Jocks, a chauffeur. He was the surfer guy, and he couldn't not talk without shaking his head. That's what makes a good actor, to me. You know what I mean?
You gotta throw your head around.
Nailed that role.
Yeah.
Nailed that role.
Nailed
And then he was never in anything ever again.
I wonder why. But all serious, all jokes aside,
Yeah.
Jack Tripper, fucking what a character.
He was awesome.
What's his name? John Ritter.
Yeah,
So
Jack
good,
Tripper's
dude.
character.
The character, but portrayed by John Ritter. He was so good, dude. And I feel like people don't.
His physical comedy.
Yeah, they don't give it enough props. He was like basically a three stooge. He was the fourth stooge.
Yeah.
Falling over shit, getting hit by
he-
shit in the fucking head, dude. He was so good. So,
He was really funny, and I have to tell you, here's the thing. Nowadays, that show could not be made.
they'd all be in jail.
Because of, the sexual jokes, the innuendos.
Everybody's getting hit with a
It
lawsuit.
would not fly today, even though, for the most part, there's some things in there that are crass, but for the most part, it's just goofy, stupid stuff,
And that's what everybody. The women weren't wearing bras. What do you want?
They weren't wearing bras, for one, and none of the
Larry had
guys
his
were
chest
actually,
hair out.
but they weren't molesting these women. You know what I mean?
It was
Just
all
because.
fucking and sucking. Everybody be free to do what
Yeah,
you want, and
they
everybody
were-
was fine.
That's why Janet's my favorite, because when she put on that nightgown.
Well, I heard that Janet
shirt.
smelled down there. That's what I heard.
Really?
That's what Larry
Is that what
told
you
me
heard?
at the Regal Beagle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard Terry had one breast larger than the other, and it had a scar on it.
That's fine. She
It
keeps
smelled
her
like
bra on.
cheese.
You had to one up me.
Remember Terry
Very
in
mature.
that movie? Remember Terry in the movie with the murdering and the death?
Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects, where
That
she's
was
like,
fucked up.
And she looked great in that movie. I have to admit that Terry.
and where was Janet?
You looked amazing.
Where was Janet?
Janet was already dead.
Safe and sound.
No.
At the apartment. Terry was getting terrorized with a gun in her panties. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and Jack had died of some sort of an aneurysm. What happened to John Ritter?
Oh, John Ritter? Yeah, I think it was an aneurysm.
So we're gonna end on that now. Sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny, but in a way, it's
terrible
kind of.
way to end the show. But you know
Yeah.
what? It's not about the end. It's about the journey.
If I ever
and I
die-
hope you guys had a good fucking time.
If I ever die of an aneurysm, I hope you guys have a good chuckle about it. And in some, whatever the fuck way it is. And it's like, this
Yeah.
motherfucker, he died randomly, just collapsed out of nowhere.
It was hilarious.
Face first, into the ground, dead!
You had to see it.
You had to see it
It's
to
so
believe it.
funny.
Such a dumbass.
Oh, yeah.
But we loved him.
He
And
couldn't even die good.
no, I couldn't even die like a human man.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Yeah, well, there you go.
All right.
And the name of this episode, for those people who, who've just tuning in right now, how could they just tune in right now? They couldn't, because they have to watch the video from the
Maybe
beginning
they're
of
so
YouTube.
fucking insane that they
On
just
YouTube.
go to the last 30
They're just
seconds
like, let's watch the
of
last
every video
30
they
seconds
watch.
of this video.
Yeah. What's the name of the episode?
The name of the episode is Muy Chunky.
Which, if you don't understand Spanish,
Yeah.
that is translates to very gordo.
In English, it's
Very gordo.
Very gordo. So that's the name of the
Hey.
episode. Episode Unos. 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 Unos? How do you say it? Unos?
You gotta stop.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Hope you guys had a good time.
We don't care if you watch.
Well,
you don't watch, you don't watch. Fuck you.
Don't say that.
Okay,
I
please
care.
watch. Please watch.
One of us cares.
Because, okay, first of all, just watch the show. Second of all, watch all the commercials. Because we're not getting any of that sweet, sweet YouTube money unless you watch the commercial. So watch
Like
the
and
commercial.
subscribe.
Like this first episode, you probably skipped through the commercials. You're like, well, fuck these commercials because we want to get to the good stuff. Yeah, well, wait, relax, slow down. The good stuff is coming. Watch the commercial.
We don't want
All
to
right,
do this
ease into
for
the
free.
good shit. Yeah, we don't want to do this for free. We're
Yeah.
all about the Benjamins.
We're all about the Benjamins,
baby.
baby.
They know what that means.
Like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
Like,
for tuning
subscribe,
in, and
hit the
we'll
bell
see
icon.
you
What does that mean? Do Do you understand what
I
hit the
don't
bell
have
icon
any
means?
idea
I
what
bet
that
you don't
means.
even know what that means.
I'm no good with computers.
Hit the bell icon.
I'm lousy with computers.
Hit the bell icon. Do it.
Just do it.
Or don't.
Or don't.
You know? You can be a hero to these two guys, or you can just not hit the bell icon and just
Be
live
a
your
zero.
life like a...
You're supposed to say be a zero.
If I said that, then that'd be like just stupid. And
This is the
pedantic.
longest ending ever.
This is the best ending ever. In a way. So,
I have to use the bathroom.
alright, well, let's slow down. So let's wait for a few minutes and just see if you pee your pants.
Mm-hmm. Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in. This has to stop right now.
Alright. Thank you.